All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Baha, Brachah, Quadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teach and rule well, and peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, pushing this gospel amongst the four winds with truth and sincerity. To you, we say shalom. It's your brother Parathon with a quick lesson. I'm going to open up with Matthew 7:24. And it reads, therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them, I will liken him unto a wise man, which built his house upon a rock, and the rains descended, the floods came, and the winds blew and beat upon that house, and it fell not, for it was founded upon a rock. So those who build their house upon a rock are wise. Why? Because they listen to the sayings, listening to the Lord, taking heed unto the Lord, and seeking him is equivalent to a wise man building his house upon a rock, a strong foundation. Right? Last lesson, we went into 1 Corinthians 15 and 58. Let me just grab it real quick. Bottom verse. It reads, therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord. For as such as ye know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord. So being steadfast, unmovable, always abounding, right? Just being in a state of being unlikely to change, to conform to this society, right? Being firmly persistent, superfluous, if you will. It's one of those synonyms of abounding. Superfluous going into just being unnecessarily, especially in a situation where you're already doing more than enough, right? So we know that, we could never go far enough in seeking and trying to please the Lord, right? We, 10 times more, right? When we seek him 10 times more. There's no limit, right? It is basically saying that it doesn't stop, because our righteousness is as filthy rags. We are in the land of our captivity. We do need divine intervention, right? So that house, so a wise man builds his house upon a rock. A wise man hearkens unto the Lord. Right? He rehearses the righteous acts. He puts on as the elect, right? He works out his own salvation with fear and trembling. He makes his calling and election sure. He studies to show himself approved, man. Said this right word, it's pretty self-explanatory, but I think metaphor, these blue letters, man, it's gems in here, man. Let's hit this word rock, Petra. Projecting rock, cracking rock. Metaphor. Metaphorically speaking, this is what we want. A man like a rock, by reason of his firmness and strength of soul. Now, who does that sound like? Right? A man that takes heed, that listens to the words of the Lord, is likened to a man that builds his house. A wise man that builds his house on a rock. That rock being Yahweh Shai. Right? Austere firmness and strength spiritually. And to prove that, we can stay in Matthew. We could jump to verse 20, chapter 21, Salakia. Jump on down to verse 42. And it reads, Yahweh Shai said unto them, did ye never read in the scriptures, the stone, the rock, which the builders rejected, is same, Salakia, the same is become the head of the corner. This is the Lord's doing, and it is marvelous in our eyes. So Yahweh Shai was rejected by the public, by his own people, right? That stone that the builder refused has become the chief cornerstone. Yahweh Shai is the head. The elect, Lord willing, we account of that number of the body. Right? We can go further into it. Let's jump to stay in the New Testament. We can jump to Ephesians. And I got a few more precepts just to hit this point, and I'm gonna close out Ephesians 2 and chapter 20. It says, Salakia, verse 19, now therefore ye are no more strangers and foreigners, but fellow citizens with the saints and of the household of Yahweh. Why? Because that veil has been removed, right? Now you're calling on the names, right? That your spirit the spirit has bear witness with your spirit. Hey man, we're just being called our culture, the names, the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. We're just being stirred up in our remembrance, man. We are our forefathers in the reincarnation, if you can receive it. Right? So it's again, verse 19. Now therefore ye are no more strangers and foreigners, right? Because you put off that old man, you put off that Gentile state of mind, which we know that it's two definitions of Gentiles, right? One being a non-Israelite, basically. Any nation that's not an Israelite, right? The other one being a Gentile, going into the, I believe the Greek or Latin is Hellenista, right? Gentile was a state of mind. We have Gentiles all across the planet. There are Gentiles in every nation, scattered abroad. We are scattered abroad in every nation. Our people have a Gentile state of mind. Grew up in these other countries, other lands, and these different cultures, and speaking a foreign tongue, right? Thinking, living, and breathing that they are that nation, looking like that nation. Right? But when you hear that call, because the Lord knows who are his, he knows his sheep. What does it say? My sheep hear my voice, roughly paraphrasing. So we're no longer strangers and foreigners, but we're fellow citizens. Right? Lord willing, we are accounted, man. We've been grafted. Right? It's verse 20. It says, and are built upon the foundation of the apostles and prophets, Yahweh Shai himself being the chief cornerstone, in whom all the building fitly framed together groweth until an holy temple in the Lord, in whom ye also are builded together for an habitation of Yahweh through the Spirit. Right? So the apostles, the prophets, right? They make up the body. Yahweh Shai is that foundation, that rock. He's the head. And it's all perfect fitness. We are lively stones, which leads to my next precept. It's 1 Peter 4 and 8. Salakia, 2 Peter. I always do that. No, it's not. What are we doing, man? Where we get chapter 4 from, man? It's like 1 Peter 2 and 5. It says, ye also as lively stones are built up a spiritual house, a holy priesthood, to offer up spiritual sacrifices acceptable to Yahweh by Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. Therefore also it is contained in the scripture, behold, I lay in Zion a chief cornerstone, elect precious, And he that believeth on him shall not be condemned, shall not be forsaken. So we're lively stones fit together that build this body and this house, right? Yahushua being the head, being that chief cornerstone. First Peter 2:5. Let me see. We could close out with some prophecy, man. Let's hit Daniel, because Daniel referred to Yahushua as that stone cut without hands in regards of the prophecy of the statue, man. Daniel 2:44, 45. Daniel 2:44. And in the days of these kings shall Yahweh of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. It's the point. For as much as thou sawest that the stone was cut out of the mountain without hands, and that it break in pieces the iron, the brass, the clay, the silver, and the gold, the great power Yahweh hath made known to the king, Salakia. What shall come to pass hereafter? And the dream is certain, and the interpretation thereof is sure. All right, so that's the point. That stone that was cut without hands out of the mountain is going to break in piece that statue, right? And then we're at the feet, man. The toes, verse 42, and as the toes of the feet were part of iron, part clay, and so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken. Whereas thou sawest iron mixed with clay, with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave to one another, even as iron is not mixed with clay. That's this kingdom, man. This shit's cooked. Yahushua is going to come through, destroy this. We're going to establish our kingdom here. Right, as beloved, as above, so below. Right, as the scriptures say, the new heavens and the new earth. Let thy will be done, man. As above and so below. So with that, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praise, all honor, all glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Baharach HaKodash, the wonders of the apostles and the elders, a great millstone, and peace and salutation to the whole full elect. Kwam Yasharala and the Baba Shalom.